Rachel Zegler is at it again.
I really do believe that. There's something wrong with her. She's disturbed, she's unhappy.
I have learned the hard way that we have to be fearless and loud in order to be heard, and to prepare for the backlash that occasionally comes with that outspokenness.
The reality is she's just not stable. Like the majority of people in Hollywood, they're just not stable human beings.
I think people will just do anything to not acknowledge that respect is earned and not just given to you in life.
What she fails at more than anything is she doesn't have the ability to phrase or frame anything in a way that wins you.
Nobody saw it coming. No one wanted to believe it. But when that grainy, muffled audio clip surfaced at 2:03 a.m., the illusion shattered. Rachel Zegler, the golden girl of Hollywood, the face of Disney's Snow White and the rising star of Broadway's Evita, had just been exposed. Not in an interview, not in a gossip column, but in a vicious, unfiltered, spine-chilling leaked audio, where she's heard screaming at her castmates backstage like an unstable.
But it's hard. And it's lonely. It's very lonely. I just know that if that loneliness can exist, so can other things, and I will be okay.
Dictator mid-breakdown. I don't need to be here. You people should be thanking me. Her voice cracked from rage, words laced with venom. And it didn't stop there. Do you even know who I am? I am this show. I don't take notes from amateurs. You could hear the fear in the silence around her. Nobody replied. No one dared. All you could hear was the thud of shoes as someone quietly walked off stage, probably crying. This wasn't just diva behavior. This was a total psychological snap, and it was caught live. And guess what? The world heard it.
I never want it to come off as me being ungrateful for the opportunities I have when I say that this has been the biggest adjustment of my life. Like understanding the way my life operates now, being who I am, and the things that I've been so fortunate to make. It comes with so much ground that I never thought I would be able to cover, and that people think I'm doing poorly, and other people think I'm doing gracefully, and I don't think I'm doing it at all.
Hours, the internet exploded. The leaked audio clip went viral on TikTok, Reddit, and X, formerly Twitter, racking up over 8 million views in the first 24 hours. Hashtags like hashtag Rachel Zegler meltdown, hashtag Evita leak, and hashtag Scream Queen started trending. Globally, people couldn't believe it. Fans were horrified. Broadway insiders were nodding silently, many saying privately, "We warned you. This isn't new." One anonymous crew member posted, "She threw a chair last week. Not joking." Nobody talks about it because everyone's scared of her team.
I just saw this video that was like, Rachel Zegler doesn't have a single movie role lined up after Snow White. Rachel Zegler is making her West End debut in the biggest leading role in a musical of all time. Like, she's playing Ava Perón in a Jamie Lloyd production of Evita. I promise y'all don't need to be worrying about her career like that.
Another dancer replied, "It's like walking on eggshells backstage." She snaps at everyone. You say hi. She rolls her eyes. But this time, the receipts were undeniable. The audio was real. And it was brutal. This wasn't a leaked photo or a misquoted tweet. This was her voice shrieking in rage, echoing off the walls of a sacred rehearsal space, the one place where artists are supposed to feel safe. The public's reaction was instant and brutal. This is why Snow White flopped. She's not misunderstood, she's just mean. Lea Michele walked so Rachel Zegler could run. What makes this even darker? Sources say the recording came from someone on
the film industry. When you are an actor, when you sign one of these contracts in the entertainment industry, I think a lot of people on the outside think that if you are somebody who has a lot of publicity around you and your name's attached to a project, that means that you have a ton of control or a ton of intel, but usually that is not the case. Unless you are Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively with all of their films apparently, or Margot Robbie in Barbie, and you are also an executive producer. As an actor, you don't get to dictate anything. You don't get to dictate if a film actually happens. You don't get to dictate when it is shot, how it is shot. not if you can ever speak about it to the public. You are simply just there to show up and say your lines and look the way they want you to look. That is our job, and that was my job on this production. So again, that's really all I can say.
Her own team, not a hater, not a rival, someone who watched her spiral again and again and finally said, enough. And if you think this was just one bad moment, you're wrong. According to insiders, this was the third screaming fit that week. And the producers, they've been covering it up until now. It wasn't just yelling. It was like she snapped into someone else, whispered one dancer in a now deleted Instagram story. And they weren't the only one. By the second day, what started as a leak became a firestorm. Broadway crew, makeup artists, even the stage manager, all started anonymously dropping bombs, each message darker than the last.
Rachel Zegler has been described as a walking PR disaster for Disney's. We've heard her bag the classic story before, but there's more.
Shaking, she called me useless. Just because her mic wasn't working, we weren't allowed to look her in the eye. She made one of the interns cry, then laughed. Rachel Zegler had gone full meltdown mode and nobody in the building felt safe. The rehearsals turned into psychological war zones. And now there's a rising theory circulating backstage. This wasn't an isolated tantrum. This was a pattern. And the worst part? The theater's own internal HR department tried to bury it. One cast member shared a screenshot of an internal email that read, "Do not speak to the press or post on social media. Any breach will result in contract."
The first to say, I don't know the ins and outs of the payment for these actors. To be honest, there is not a single show, a movie, or anything that I've seen really in the last 5 years that made me think these people need to be paid more. I'm sorry, but I can tell you that I wouldn't have felt that way had they not come forward and complained about it. And that's it.
Just really, why are you even worried about yourself getting paid when I thought this was about standing up for the little guy, advocating for the actors who don't get the A-list castings and aren't having their faces put on billboards but still deserve to be paid appropriately, and instead it's like, it's about you in the dress. It's just not a good look.
Termination, damage control, muzzling, silence. The show had become a hostage situation, and the lead captor was Rachel herself. But the silence cracked when someone, brave or fed up, leaked more. Another audio clip. This time, Rachel's. Voices lower, more venomous. She says, "You think you can replace me? You think they can sing like I can? Get real. I'm not leaving unless they do." And that wasn't all. She threatened to walk out mid-rehearsal unless a chorus girl was removed from the show. Why? Because she smiled too much near the director. Let that sink in. Producers are now panicking. Ticket pre-orders have frozen. Fan pages are turning into expos hubs. And worst of all, Broadway veterans are weighing in. Legendary stage actress Marin Kari tweeted, "Talent means nothing when it comes with terror. Broadway is not a kingdom. We don't bow to screaming. Ouch." Meanwhile, Disney has gone silent. Very silent. PR insiders say they've put Rachel on internal review, fearing backlash might spill over to their remaining Snow White reboots and musical projects. Because here's the
whole crying thing. It only seems genuine when Holly does it, but with Rachel it seems like she's acting. Not long ago, this is what she was saying. See, this is the reason people don't buy it. Don't get me wrong, she has a fan base, she has a following, she has people defending her, as she should have. But the way this damage control tour is becoming a bunch of statements that she should have made at the start, it all just makes her look worse.
This isn't just one role. It's a reputation collapse. Broadway turns its back on you, you don't just lose a stage, you lose your industry. And according to fresh sources, the cast is planning a formal complaint letter signed by 14 crew members and 6 performers demanding Rachel be suspended from the production before opening night. And guess what? There's talk of even more recordings. Those drop, it's over. It was supposed to be her comeback. It's her chance to prove the haters wrong. But now, even the fans are saying, maybe the haters were right all along. Cross TikTok, Reddit, and Twitter, the Rachel Zegler fandom is imploding. Fan edits are being deleted. Support accounts are going private, and former stans, they're turning into whistleblowers. I used to defend her, but this audio, I feel sick. How did we miss this? The signs were always there. 'Cause it wasn't just one tantrum. It wasn't just Snow White. This is a pattern. A psychological timeline of meltdowns, arrogance, and manipulation.
I think the world needs a lot more of that these days, so that would be rule number one. And also, dogs are better than people. That would be something else. I think that works.
Let's rewind. Remember when Rachel said Snow White wasn't about love anymore? Okay. That the original story was creepy and outdated? She laughed about it in interviews. Mocked the legacy of Disney while wearing its crown. Audiences were confused, but fans said she was just being bold. Then came the red carpet moment when she refused to answer questions from disabled reporters, turning away my dinner view with a smirk. Still, people defended her. They said she was young, misunderstood, passionate. But now, with leaked rehearsal audio, cast testimonies, and multiple breakdowns, nobody's defending her anymore.
The only excuse I can make for her is that she's young, she's immature, she doesn't know any better. I've never heard of her before. I don't know if this is her first project or if she's done movies like this before or anything that has anything to do with acting before. But girl, this wasn't it. Like, why'd you go and dog your own movie? Dog Disney, dog the writer. She dogged everything. Now she's mad because they done fired her from upcoming projects, but you're not a team player. Why would somebody want to hire you when you don't know how to play your parts? Like, you didn't know how to play your part in the movie and in the real world.
And Disney, they're spiraling. Sources say they've frozen all Rachel-led promo campaigns. A marketing agency insider leaked that the company has drafted emergency rebranding plans if public sentiment continues tanking. One exec was reportedly overheard saying, if she tanks Evita too, we may need to cut ties permanently. That's not just PR speak. That's career death talk, and the scariest part. Another leak, this time a video, not just audio, is rumored to exist. And according to Backstage Whispers, it's worse. Worse. How? It shows Rachel mocking another cast member's weight in front of the entire chorus line. If that clip drops, no fan base, no comeback, no studio will touch her again. This isn't just a bad day. This is a legacy unraveling in real time. One exposed tantrum at a time. Silence. That's all we've heard from Rachel Zegler for days. No tweets, no interviews, no apology. Not even a vague PR-friendly taking accountability. Post, just radio silence. And in the world of Hollywood, that kind of silence doesn't mean healing. It means one thing: lawyers. The legal fallout has begun, according to entertainment insiders close to the production. Rachel's legal team is now scrambling behind the scenes. Multiple contracts are under review. Publicity clauses, conduct policies, brand integrity terms. The kind of documents most actors never see unless something's gone terribly wrong. There's a non-disgorgement clause in her Evita deal, one source whispered. If they can prove she harmed the production's public image, she might owe them damages. In simple terms, she might have to pay for the very musical she was hired to lead. And guess what? That's not just theory anymore. A veteran Broadway journalist posted that Evita's producers are considering creative alternatives for the lead role. Translation: Rachel Zegler is on the verge of being dropped. But that's just Broadway. The real danger: Hollywood is going quiet. Studios that once courted her are now ghosting. Meetings canceled. Names left on red. A-list co-stars distancing themselves. Even talent agencies are reportedly reviewing whether she's worth the risk. Because here's the dirty truth of the industry. Hollywood loves talent, but it worships silence. No drama, no distractions, no social media wars. And right now, Rachel is a walking controversy machine. Remember when she was the face of the future? The girl plucked from obscurity to lead West Side Story? Steven Spielberg called her the next great leading lady. Now she's trending for all the wrong reasons. Not for a role, not for a performance, but for a meltdown, a backlash, and a leaked video that may never be forgotten. And let's talk about that video, the one insiders say hasn't even fully surfaced yet, 'cause if it leaks, and all signs point to someone holding it, waiting for the right moment, it's over. Sources say the clip shows Rachel insulting a disabled crew member using a tone so sharp and dismissive, the room went silent. The crew member reportedly left the stage in tears. Psychologists are now weighing in, and here's where things get even more disturbing. A few media outlets have quietly begun bringing in behavioral analysts, body language experts, industry veterans, and what they're saying. This isn't just arrogance. It's chronic disregard for others' boundaries. Rachel shows classic signs of performative empathy, public tears, but private cruelty. She may be battling insecurity, but it's turning toxic. Even therapists on TikTok are making content about her, diagnosing her attitude using clips, interviews, and leaked footage. One video with over 2 million views said, "You're not watching a villain. You're watching someone spiraling and everyone around her is paying the price." The fallout is personal to friends, gone quiet. Old high school classmates have started speaking out anonymously. "She was always a little too proud. Thought she was better than the rest of us. Nice when she wanted to be. Hello. When it served her." Even fan pages are now turning into receipts, accounts. Entire threads are being made with time-stamped clips showing every moment Rachel shaded co-stars, mocked press, or ignored fans. One tweet went viral saying, "I supported her when the world hated her. Okay? Now I realize she hated us first." And Disney. They've had enough internally. Disney is panicking. Executives have reportedly ordered the total shutdown of all Snow White promotional content that features Rachel. Merchandise featuring her likeness is being quietly pulled from stores. TikTok creators hired to promote the film say their contracts were suddenly voided. And now there's a whispered rumor coming out of Burbank. Disney may be seeking a contract loophole to fully replace her before the film even hits streaming. It sounds impossible. But if enough evidence is presented, if a lawyer can argue that she violated brand standards, they could digitally minimize her role. Or in a nuclear scenario, recast and reshoot with AI. Yes, it's that serious. The industry blacklist, is it real? People think blacklists are some mythical thing. But ask anyone in the business. They're real. Not official, not written down, but they happen. Producers stop calling. Agents stop pitching. Directors forget your name in meetings. And Rachel, she's on the edge. It's not just burning bridges. One anonymous talent agent said, "It's just nooking the whole city behind her." What happens now? Maybe Rachel speaks up. Maybe she gives the apology of the century, but the damage is done. Because in the age of social media, one clip is all it takes to flip your narrative forever. And Rachel, she's now the cautionary tale, the girl who had it all, the role, the legacy, the Disney crown, and lost it because she couldn't stop self-destructing. Final thought, this isn't just a fall from grace. This is a full-blown collapse. And whether Rachel Zegler ever recovers from it, that's no longer up to the fans, no longer up to Disney. It's up to the receipts and the truth they reveal. Because when the curtain finally falls, there's nowhere left to hide.